Hi, welcome to, I'll try and keep it as a brief training. It's going to be about, I'll try and keep it under 18 minutes if I possibly can. Let me think about it. So this training is, probably the most heard phrase that we get as salespeople, you know. If you've done any kind of sales, you would have certainly heard a client say to you, let me think about it. You know, we've assessed the client's needs. We found the best product that ticks all their boxes. You make your closing pitch, and you know that this is the best product on the market for the client. You might even do a little mic drop at the end because you're that confident. And what do we hear? Let me think about it. Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? Where you know you've done your job and you don't want to be pushy to the client. And if you've done any kind of sales over the years, you know, if you're a seasoned salesperson, then you've probably done some kind of training session, and that training session will have no doubt taught you, okay, Mr. X, I totally understand that you need some time to think about it. When would be a good time to call you back? Does this ring any bells for people? What you're doing here is you're being trained not to be pushy, because you want the client to have confidence in you and, you know, feel at ease. You're getting the client to commit to look at that information in their own time, and then you're getting them to agree to take your call at a time that they suggest. And what that does is it triggers a guilt mechanism in the brain. So if they say, oh, call me at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and at 3 o'clock you call them, you know, they know it's you. They know that you're calling, and they know the reason why you're calling, and they are more likely to answer that call. And people who mess you around will usually say, I haven't had time yet, give me a call tomorrow, give me a call next week, give me a call next month. Okay? So this is the old way of doing it. And what we're really thinking when we're saying that kind of pitch to people is, what God's green earth are you what do you need to think about it? I've given you everything you need. You've told me what you need. You've told me your requirements. I've matched you perfectly to this. I know this is a great investment. You know, what do you need to think about? So, is there another way that we could approach this? Let me ask you a question. How much does leaving a client think about it reduce the sale? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, this is a case of you're selling them some rubbish product and you need to get them to close it on the spot, otherwise they're going to realize it's rubbish. Okay? This is a case of when people go away to think about it, they are affected by external factors. And that could be maybe their partner says, no, I don't want to, you know, risk that kind of money. Or maybe they go down the pub that night, they bump into Fred, and Fred says, oh, my brother's friend's girlfriend's father's mate, he invested in something just like this and he lost all his money. And, you know, good on Fred for trying to warn his friend, but that's not the real situation. So by letting someone walk away and think about it, they introduce all these external reasons why they shouldn't invest, even though, especially in our case, they inquired about the product in the first place, or they inquired for some advice into investments. 52%, that's the figure. So if you let someone go and you say, I'll call you back tomorrow or next Wednesday or whenever it is, you are 52% less likely to close that sale. And remember, that's time that you've spent with someone. That's time that you've chased around with them, that you've, you know, done your research, you found the right product for them. That's your time. Remember, you're not paid unless, you know, the deal is closed. I mean, you're very lucky here at Global Capital because we give you the products and we assess the products before we ever let them into any of our, you know, clients' hands. We do our due diligence so you can have confidence as salespeople in the product themselves. But it's 52%. That's a lot. You know, that's more than half. And here's the thing. Within 24 hours, people forget 75% of what you said. So if someone says to you, give me a call back tomorrow, and you spent 20 minutes on the phone with them, they will only remember 5 minutes of what you said. And I can't say it's the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes or 5 minutes in between, because it's not. It's 5 minutes worth of random information throughout that 20-minute conversation. That's a lot of wasted time. And if you call them tomorrow and they're still interested, 99% of them will go, can you just go back over it with me? And they do that because they forgot 75% of it. And we'll always get people who say, look, give me a call next month. Yeah, we get them all the time. Well, here's the thing. In 30 days, someone will forget 90% of what you told them. And the human brain is a wonderful tool. Because what the human brain does is it fills in the gaps. As in, it literally makes it up. So if you say to someone, I've got a product that's £100,000 investment, you're going to get 10% per annum return for the next 5 years, and then in year 5 you'll get £100,000 back. 30 days from now, they might ring you up and say, so it's £120,000 investment, I'm going to get 15%, and in year 12 you're going to give me 200% back. Okay, alright, that's an over exaggeration, but you get my point. People forget it and the brain fills in the gaps. So what we need to do is remove the gap, and this is how we do it. Okay, Mr. X, I totally understand what you're saying. Now notice, guys, this is different to what we said originally. Originally we said, I totally understand that you need to think about it. Okay, that's saying it's okay, take your time. What we're saying here is, I know what you're saying. You might be wrong, but I know what you're saying. When someone says, let me think about it, it's only ever for one or two reasons. Now it's either because, like, you're a very nice guy, Mr. X, and you might just be too polite to tell me that that you're not interested. But I would rather our relationship be on a plain level, and we can be honest with each other. Because if you're not interested in this, then maybe I have something else that you'd be interested in, or that they are genuinely interested, but they're simply just not sure about what's in front of them. Which would you say it is for you? Now, what we're doing here is we're eliminating time wasters. So those who say, oh, give me a call tomorrow, and they never answer the phone, or give me a call next week, and then they don't spend the time to look at the product or the information that you've sent them, and they keep you running for weeks and weeks and months and months. We've all had it. I've certainly had it, especially in the early days when I was in the Middle East doing real estate. When you run round after people and you spend all the time and effort and you're banking on the sale, and they just mess you around and then they finally disappear on you. Well, here what we're doing, we're controlling the situation and we are guiding the client down a path. So if they're not interested in the product, then you have to make your decision. You have to decide whether they're actually interested at all, or they're just messing you around. If they're that type of person, just cut them. Put them into your mailing list, send them an email every month, as we do in Global Capital. Just keep them on the books, but don't invest your time into it. Or they might not be interested because you've got the product wrong. So you did not assess their needs in the beginning right. Or maybe they told you some lies. Who knows? But it normally comes down to an agent making a mistake on the need assessment. But most people, I'd say at least 90% of these people will say that they are genuinely interested, but they're simply not sure. Now what that means is that you have missed something vital in your sales pitch and the information that you've relayed to the client, which did not remove a block in their mind. So, okay, Mr. X, that's great. So you're definitely interested. That's good news. But you're not sure. Now, when people say this to me, it's usually for one of three reasons. The product is not a good fit, or the functionality of the product is not a good fit, or it's just financially not right for you. And then we go through it. So, Mr. X, is the product a good fit for you? And what you're asking him is, does the product fit in with what he's looking for? he inquired about an investment. Is it, now you've explained it, the investment that he inquired about, is it right for him in his mind? And the point here is, have you given him enough information for him to believe that it is a good product? Now, you should believe it's a good product, because if you don't believe it's a good product, then you're going to struggle to sell it. And remember, guys, we actually do all the due diligence for you. We take that out of your hands. We do all the background checks on the products that we sell as a company, so you can have the confidence to know that everything on our system is a good product. So Mr. X might say, I'm not happy with something, or I don't understand something. And this is the point where you could remove that block. All right, this is the point of what we're doing here. We are removing the blocks in 3 simple stages. But maybe it is a good fit for Mr. X. So Mr. X says, no, it's a good fit for me. Okay, Mr. X, is it the functionality of the investment? And what we're asking him here is, do you understand the payment plan? Are the returns clear enough for you? Is the exit strategy clear? Is it functional for your needs? There's no point in putting you into a 5-year investment if you need your money back in 2.5 years. Does it function right for you? Do the returns come out when you need them to come out? If you're looking for something that is going to give you, a monthly return, there's no point in giving you something that pays you annually. Is it functionality? Is it functional for you? And this is something, again, that we should have assessed in their needs and got right. If we didn't get it right, then there might be a problem. But Mr. X might say, no, functionally, yeah, it works for me. Okay, Mr. X, is it right for you financially then? Because, that's the only other thing that it could be. Or, to put it another way, can you afford the investment, Mr. X? Now, our clients come to us through adverts, and our adverts are very, very specific. And they literally list what the investment is, penny for penny, word for word. Yes, they are there to spark interest, but we know that they can afford it. Okay, if they have inquired and they've come down this line and you've assessed their needs already, we know that they've got the money. But they will very often say, maybe it's a little more than what I'm willing to spend out at the moment. I was looking to spend a little bit less than that. Okay, they might say that, but the reality is we all want to get a better deal than what's on the table. So let's look at this product as an example. Let's say it's, as I said earlier, let's say it's the £100,000 investment. It's a 10% return per annum for 5 years. And then you get 100% back of your investment in year 5. So we say, okay, Mr. X, when was the last time you lost £10,000? And he's going to say one of 2 things to you. He's either going to give you a story of how he lost 10,000 or maybe more, or he's going to tell you how his mate Fred has got a mate of a father-in-law of a friend's dog walker's brother who lost £10,000. Okay? And in these situations, we say, I thought so, Mr. X. It's very rare that I get to this stage with someone like yourself and they're still unsure about what's in front of them. Now, I do understand where you're coming from. I understand that you've been stung in the past. But you'll see that all our investments are very transparent, and we do our homework in this. Everything that I put in front of you is very clear and it's transparent. You can't simply compare this to that other investment. But Mr. X, let me ask you something. What do you need to know from me right now to help you feel at ease? Now, this is a great question, because you're hitting the block head on. You're asking him, what is blocking you? What do you need me to assure you of for you to go ahead with this investment? If we had let him go and think about it, we would not have the opportunity to remove the blocks. So he may come out with whatever it is that he needs from you, and that's something that you can either go back through the notes, through the system, through the whole investment plan, and reassure him. Maybe he's missed something in the investment plan. Maybe as I said, people forget things that you say to them. Maybe you said it, but he didn't write it down, didn't take the notes, and he's a little confused over it. Or he's going to say, I've never lost £10,000, you know. Well, that's great, you know, you must be a great investor then, Mr. X. But here's the thing. Most people say that, Mr. X, without realising that every time they walk away from a successful investment, they actually lose money. If you have £100,000 a day and you overlook a 10% per annum product, 1 year from now, you'll have actually lost £10,000. In 2 years, you'll have lost £20,000. Because if you were to overlook a good investment, in 1 year from now, you will only have £100,000 in your bank, whereas if you were to invest in it, you would have £110,000. The year after, you would have £120,000. So, Mr. X, you probably have lost money by, you know, walking away from very good investments, calculated investments. Can you afford to lose £20,000 in that way, Mr. X? Because I know I can't, and I know I wouldn't. But, you know, please realise that by missing opportunities, you're actually losing money. They were always going to get the guys who say, and this probably accounts for at least 50% of the people that, you know, that you speak to on a daily basis. I just want to do the research myself. I just want to research the product or the investment on my own terms. Okay, ask them. What information do you need to know? You have missed something. Okay, you have missed something in either your sales pitch or right at the beginning when you qualified the client. You have missed something here. And by you missing something, you did not give them the information that they needed. You did not walk them down the right path for that client. Remember, there were lots and lots of different paths we can walk to get to the end result. You did not walk them down the right path. So we need to ask them, what are you looking for? And at this point, we say to them, okay, Mr. X, here's the thing. I have got so much information in front of me on this product that if I was to give it to you all in one go, then it would take me a week. So I've probably got the information that you want right in front of me. If you tell me what you're looking for or what you need to, you know, understand it a bit better, I've probably got it in front of me, and I can save you a lot of time by, you know, running away and having to find it yourself. You know, like I said, you will usually know the answer, but if you don't, research for them, okay? Because if you research for them, you're going to do it right now. If they're going to do the research, they might find time a week next Tuesday. Okay, Mr. X, give me 20 minutes. Let me get this information for you and let me give you a call back. Now, obviously, this is not the situation or the scenario that we're aiming for, but in these cases where, you know, you don't have that information or you just don't know it, don't let the customer have to run off and do it themselves. Okay, we're providing a service here. Okay, you're going to get paid when the client closes. So do the job properly. Do it 100% from A to Z. Mr. X, I don't know the answer to it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make something up on the spot. And believe me, the client will appreciate that more than you lying. Give me just 20 minutes. I will get that information for you. Even if I don't have it in front of me, I will call the developer or the bond supplier or whatever the product is. I'll call them personally right now. I'll get that information for you, and I'll give you a call straight back. Just give me 20 minutes, Mr. X. Mr. X will give you 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes, 99% of the time, he will answer that phone to you again. Okay, so we're going to remove every block along the way. And once we've removed all of those blocks, we go back through everything we've just discussed. Okay, Mr. X, you said the product is a good fit for you. You recognise the functionality works for you and is within budget, with the returns that you require. Am I right? Well, you've got to be right, because you've just gone through the whole thing with him. You've just taken him straight down a path. The only answer he can have to that is yes. Yes, you are right. You did everything that I asked you to do. You know, you assessed my needs in the beginning. You've provided me with a product that suits those needs. I did have some questions and some concerns, and you've answered them and you've removed any blocks. So yes, you are absolutely right. And then we need a nice polite closing pitch. Okay, Mr. X, is there anything else you need from me before I put this paperwork together for you? Now, what this does is you are saying to them, you have to close this. Now, the product is right for you, the price is right for you, it functions in the right way for you. It is a no-brainer to close. But is there anything else that you need from me before I put this paperwork together for you? Most of the time they're going to say, no, do you know what? Yeah, you are right. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Let's do it. And when we say let's do it, or when they say let's do it, here's the final thing that you say to them. You say to them, okay, once I put this together, would there be any other reason for you to pull out of this investment? And the reason why I ask this is because if there's a question burning at the back of your mind, Mr. X, I just much prefer to answer it right now for you. So we both know where we are with it, and I can get this moving along as fast as I can for you. And they will say no. 99% of the time they will say no, there's no reason why I would pull out of this that I can think of. And what that does is it puts a psychological plant in the brain and they're saying, because they're saying it aloud, no, I won't pull out. And what that does is it gets that sale through 99% of the time, therefore. But if you do get the one who is absolutely adamant that he needs to think about it, right, we have now removed all of those blocks for him. We have taken him on the journey. There is not much more you can do at this point. Okay, is there anything else that you need from me before I do the paperwork? And you will, 1 in 100 will say, just let me think about it overnight. Okay, there's no way around it. Okay, unless you put a gun to their head, there is absolutely no way around it, and we don't advise putting guns to people's heads. So this is the opportunity where you take everything that is in your notes in front of you, so all the questions he had, all the blocks that you removed, and you put them in an email to him. And when you call him tomorrow, it's all there, it's all fresh. So you've literally removed the likelihood of him forgetting 75% of it, because you've gone through the whole process with him. There is nothing for him to forget, because you're going to email it to him, in a step-by-step guide of what you just went through. And then tomorrow when you call him, it should be a simple case of, did you get a chance to look at it? Yes, I did. Great, fantastic. What did you think? Because I know this is the right product for you, Mr. X. And ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it. So that is the Let Me Think About It training. I hope it was helpful. I know it's certainly been helpful for me over the years, and a lot of my agents, they live by this now. And they do close a lot more deals than what they used to. Actually, there's one of my agents who closes is over 70% more than what he used to from using this kind of script. Now, I will put a script together. It will be downloadable below the video, so you can print it off and you can have it in front of you anytime you like. But try it, okay? Just see if this works for you. 99% of you it will work for. I absolutely live by this myself, and it works for me all over the world. So if there's any other videos that you need, any more training that you need, let us know. Okay, we don't know everything about everything, but we can find out anything about anything. So if there's something that we're missing from a training, or you need something personally, let us know. We'll make a training video on it and we'll share the training with everybody. Thanks very much.